Hi everyone, I'm Judy, and this is Judy's Take. So today I wanted to talk about a kind of post-election analysis, but then also talk about all the denialism that Trump has been doing ever since the election. First of all, for those of you who saw my documentary, I know it was something different. I haven't done something like that. Probably won't do something like that again, but I thought that it would be nice to share that story with you guys. So thank you for everyone who watched it. There was quite a few of you who watched it, and I really appreciate that. Don't forget to give my stuff a like and subscribe to my channel, because it boosts my post and just lets me know you guys are interested in what I have to say. So now to get to the post-election, today they finally called Georgia for Biden, and then last night they called Arizona. And obviously we knew that Biden won after Pennsylvania, but it's just nice that he actually picked up the rest of the states where he was leading. And the ironic thing to me was that now Biden has exactly 306, which is exactly the numbers, the electoral number victory that Trump won by. So that's sweet irony, right? So let's see. One of the things that I thought was interesting about this election is that, yes, Trump got a lot of voters to come out, but so did Biden, right? And for a while, before all the mail-in votes were coming in, it didn't look good. It did not look good. I was actually mentally preparing for defeat, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had a chance to look back through some of my videos that I've done here, and a lot of it, I was right about a lot of things. This would have been really hard to beat Trump because of just how much his followers just follow him, and honestly just how extreme and divisive they get. But after this election, it proved to me that he lost support. Okay, don't get that twisted. Just because he had a lot of people come out doesn't mean that he didn't lose support. He lost a lot of support. They were just saying with the college educated white voters, women, obviously, and even some support in the rural areas and some support with elderly. And now it wasn't a lot by any means, but the fact that that was evident as the numbers were coming in on election day, that he lost, some support. And that was seen all throughout the country. So, elections are about math, you guys. And if you lose a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, and then your opponent is picking up those little losses that you're getting everywhere, then you're not gonna be able to make it up just by having a higher turnout, because the higher turnout works both ways. And we've seen that, yes, you got more, but the higher turnout also helped Biden. It helped him more. Okay, so now on to this whole week. He's been acting all crazy, and honestly, I'm enjoying the memes. I'm enjoying the memes that are out there online. I'm enjoying the memes even about his supporters that, you know, they're being snowflakey by now going to Parler, that social media app, where I guess it's only conservative free speech. But, you know, like, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So I just wanted to speak on the fact that, like, a lot of people have contacted me and they're worried, they're concerned about Trump and about what he's going to do and how that's going to impact national security, how that's going to, like, is he, you know, some people have even said, like, they hope this doesn't continue because there's a lot of people, like, on both sides who are, you know, for example, like, on the left, I've seen some people, like, sharing that they truly believe that Trump is trying to take away their votes. And, you know, they're getting to the point where if this keeps going, that they're thinking about, you know, protesting or rioting. And then on the right, you know, they're so mad about that, you know, they're talking about their civil war that they've been saying would be there, or whatnot. And so, you know, everybody has good reason to be worried. I'm not going to put your concerns down or anything. I mean, we know how this guy is, and we know how his base is. But here's the thing, you guys. Trump is demoralized right now, and so are his base. So is his base. For the most part, most people are going to go back to living their lives normally. As a matter of fact, a lot of Trump's people, this is probably like the first time they ever came out to vote for any candidate. And so what I'm saying is that once their leader is gone, they're going to be gone too. Like, they're going to go back into the rock that they crawled out of, and, you know, their racist closet, and they're going to stay there because it's going to become more and more, it's going to be less acceptable that they behave in the way that they did before. And okay, so Trump is trying to say that he's going to run in 2024. Well, the first thing that popped in my head is, like, how are you going to run from, you know, when you're in jail? I didn't know that they let you run when you're in jail. But, you know, I don't know. Who knows? He's got that lawsuit or whatever in New York or whatnot. But even if that doesn't go through, honestly, listen, you guys, that's all talk. Like, this dude is embarrassed. He is embarrassed as hell. He's never really had to deal with this kind of stuff. Like, everybody just listens to him and just tells him what he wants to hear. And that's the story of his life. You know, he had enough money or influence, whatever, to keep living the narcissistic life that he lived, and there was very little consequences, you know, until now. You know, he got stopped. And, you know, I should have posted a video a few days ago because honestly, I knew this was going to happen. The whole, you know, you're seeing every day, you're seeing more and more people, even Republicans, come out and say that he needs to start giving Biden the intelligence briefings. He needs to okay that. Biden needs to start working on his administration. And honestly, you're going to get more and more to keep saying that, like, the calls are going to get louder. And I'm not saying that because I have any trust in the Republicans whatsoever. I have zero faith. honestly, I don't even, well, I kind of do know why people would vote Biden, but then vote conservative down ballot. But, so let me talk on that real quick before I continue. Which is funny too, right? That the Republicans recognize the people on the ballot who are Republican and those are valid, but not Biden's, right? How fresh, right? But anyways, honestly, I really believe that, you know, a lot of conservatives did vote for Biden because they're tired of Trump. Like, he's an embarrassment to their party. I'm still friends with a lot of conservatives who believe that. But here's what they also believe is that these Republicans in Congress are good people. Now, I'm not the one saying that. This is what I hear, okay? They believe that they're good people. They believe that Trump pretty much bullies them into submission. And once they get him out of office, then their Congress people, their senators who they look up to, admire, respect, whatever, that they will actually go back to politics as usual and they will find compromise and we won't have all this craziness that we have before. Like, they really honestly genuinely believe that, you know. So I don't necessarily think that them winning their races is really indicative of anything other than, hey, they're giving you a second chance. They want you to work with Biden. They obviously chose Biden, okay? So they want you to work with him. They are tired of the gridlock. They are tired of the games. And they think that if Trump is out of there, you guys will go back to being the same people that they respect again. And I don't agree with that, but I'm thinking that's what they think, you know. So go back to that. I have zero faith. I have zero faith in any conservatives, any one of them, including my own senator here, Ben Sass. He's an opportunist too, you know, and because they are opportunists, they are out for themselves. And I told you guys this before, that they won on hate. They won on division. And they will keep playing that card until it doesn't win anymore. And they'll go to the middle and they'll disavow Trump and they'll sit there and say like, oh, well, I was never really for him, or, oh, I didn't agree with how he exited, and blah, 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 blah. They'll start to go towards the middle because they're starting to realize that most of the country is in the middle. And that should, this election should actually be also an eye-opener even for the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. Because forever, and I still see it now, I feel like the Bernie supporters, even though I would say the vast majority of them, like over 90% of them, sucked it up, even though they didn't agree, but they did what was best for this country. And for that, I am like super thankful for you. I appreciate you doing something that you didn't totally agree with, but you knew that it was a better option. You know, that takes a lot to actually do that. But also, I want you guys to recognize that, you know, like, I've been hearing these arguments lately that you guys, you know, the DNC always puts up these crappy candidates or whatever. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but there was like some really good candidates this time around. The DNC has nothing to do with how people vote. okay? If anything, like, they were promoting a lot of the progressives, you know, like, everybody in the media was discounting Biden from when the voting started in Iowa in the primaries. I mean, there was even some people in the media who were like, should Joe Biden drop out of the race after two competitions, after Iowa and New Hampshire? And I'm glad he stuck it out. And I was starting to get pissed about that, because I saw the numbers from the very beginning. I saw that Biden always had the lead against Trump, the biggest lead. And I knew it was going to be hard. But I'd rather have someone there with the best chance to beat him. And that's exactly what happened. You know, and I kept advocating for that, because, you know, if you guys, okay, so where did Trump win in 2016? This was my point the whole time. Where did Trump win in 2016? His wins were in the Rust Belt. And whether you like the Electoral College or not, we have it. And that is how it's going to be. In order to change something in the Constitution, it takes a lot. And there is no actual legitimate reason to change it. There's not. Just because sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't mean a damn thing, okay? So, you know, there's a lot of things I don't like, but I think the Constitution is the way that it is, and it was very ahead of its time. And, you know, if there needs things to be added to it, we add to it, and that's what we have done. But anyways, that's besides the point. You guys knew, we saw that Trump's wins in 2016 were all across the Rust Belt. That's what it was. He turned a lot of Obama Democrats, a lot of blue-collar Democrats, into Republicans, into Trump supporters. And like I said to you guys, I saw Joe speaking when he was campaigning for Hillary. And I saw how he talked to those people. And I was like, wow, if this guy ever runs, he's going to have these people back in his corner, back in the blue. And with that, I felt confident that if he ran, he might do well, you know. And you know, he talks like them because he was them, you know. And so anyways, there's one thing I gotta say to you guys, and I know that some of you might not like this, but here's some hard truths, okay? Why did those blue collar Democrats switch over to Trump? Because they said that they weren't being heard, okay? They said that they were the forgotten. Do you know how it has to feel? Like, and then put away the fact that we all know that they're white. We all know that they have a privilege in this country that many, many, many minorities don't have. That all minorities don't have. Okay? Put that aside for 1 second and think about them as human beings as well. They feel forgotten. Okay? Whether you think that's legit or not legit, we need to address it nonetheless if we want them to stay on our side, okay? Because we know that what we have to offer, what the Democrats have to offer, not me, I'm independent, what the Democrats have to offer is much better for them than what the Republicans are just using them, honestly. Like, they're just using them to get votes. Okay, that's what it is. They keep lying to them about, you know, we're gonna keep you in these coal jobs and this dirty energy. Yeah, we're for you. while they're selling their stocks to green, and they're buying green energy stocks. They know what's coming too, and they keep lying to them just to gain their votes and their money. And I think it's freaking horrible. But you know what? They don't see it. They don't see that. And so instead of trying to convince them to see that, how about you show them also that you are listening, and tell them, okay, well, you might like them, but, you know, we're listening to you too, you know, and we're hoping that you start, you know, you start to hear us as well. These people, you have to recognize that their ancestors, and not long ago ancestors, you know, their grandparents or great-grandparents, they built this country. Yes, a lot of people built this country, but I'm saying the Industrial Revolution built this country. And there is a pride to that they feel. And maybe that's why they don't leave and go try to find work somewhere else. That's all they know. That is their identity. That is who they are. And that shit runs deep. Just like any one of you who identify yourselves as something or other, you wouldn't want anybody to downplay who you are, where you're from, where your ancestors came from, because it would be, just a shot through your soul, man. You know, like, that's who you are. That's how you identify. And so what I'm trying to say is that the messaging in the Democrat Party sucks. And it needs to get better. If you guys, like, this win is awesome. But we need to start working right now if we want to get more wins. We need to start actually treating people like, and we need to, you know, there was, they interviewed John Kasich, like a day after Biden's acceptance speech. And they asked him, what does this election tell you? Or something like that. And then he said something like, it tells me that we need to start listening to each other in this country. And I totally agree with John Kasich. Like, it hit me, you know, because I was like, you know what? We in this country, we always talk past each other a lot. We talk past each other, but we never talk to each other. And I think that needs to start to get corrected. And look, I'm not advocating for us to just forgive and forget all the horrible things that we were put through. I am not advocating that whatsoever. You guys do not have to forgive anyone. I mean, I told someone, I'm not Jesus. I don't need to forgive what's been done to me. You know, and, you know, I'm not Biden. I do hold grudges sometimes, you know, and after everything we've been put through, after everything that we had to go through, you damn right I'm going to sit here and I'm going to laugh at all those memes. You damn right that I'm going to sit here and I'm going to throw it in your face, because we were put through a lot unnecessarily. I mean, you were so vile to us that it was horrible. I mean, like, you guys really made yourselves look like human pieces of trash. Honestly. But I am saying that if you want to win votes, maybe you could just start trying to give your message better. Tell people in a very simplified manner what you're about and what you're going to do for them. And don't say these mistakes that you guys say all the time. Like, it's not just Biden. It's a lot of you guys. You guys say these gaffes. And it's stupid. Like, defund the police. Who on their right mind thought of that? Defund the police? They ran on that crap. I mean, you had police, for some odd reason, with our taxpayer money, sitting there advertising for conservatives. You know? Making me feel less safe in this world. You know, it's like, oh, okay, so if I have a Biden thing on my yard and I call you guys, does that mean you're going to treat me different? That's a whole different other story, but I don't think it should be done. Anyways, they ran on that. When you have people in your party advocating for socialism. Now, look, listen. I understand that your brand of socialism isn't like dictator. However, they don't. And most of the country does not. They do not understand that. And literally, like, look at Florida. All they had to do is just, like, literally, this was their campaign in Florida. If you vote for Biden, it's socialism. Socialism, socialism, socialism. Oh, hey, liberal, socialist. Liberal, socialist. Hey, you want to go live back how you did before, under oppression? Then don't vote for a Democrat. Literally, that's it. That's it. That's all they had to say. And you guys are sitting here like, oh, well, socialism is not that bad. I mean, you're talking about this kind of socialism instead of this kind of socialism. And it's like, oh my God, are you guys like seriously like that just dumb? Sometimes, like what annoys me the most is the fact that I know that you guys aren't dumb. The fact that I know that a lot of you guys, if not most of you guys, are super educated. And yet, you can't sit here and think of these things and be like, you know what? Maybe I need to listen to how I come across. Which is another thing, okay? Ever since I have gotten an education, like I have a master's degree. And you know what's one of the criticisms about me? And I think it's very fair. Like even recently, one of my friends told me that like I was talking down to her. And I apologized. But I've heard that a lot. And that is a criticism that a lot of people have about the Democrats. That they talk down to people. They are the elite. You know? And you know what? I think it's about time that you guys recognize that you do talk down to people. You are condescending fucks, just like me. You really, really are. I mean, it's okay to accept that. It's okay to acknowledge that. But what's not okay is to not change it. Because that's not how you want to come across. I know sure as hell that's not how I want to come across. A lot of times I'm just saying things because I understand things better than they do. But instead of explaining to them in a respectful manner, I sit there and like talk circles around them. You know, and I come off as like a know-it-all. You know, and I'm sorry, but most people in this country are not like that. Like most people in this country do not understand language that way, put to them that way. And that's something that you guys also have to come to terms with. There's a time and a place to talk in the way that you talk. There's a time and a place to be professional. There's a time and a place to speak eloquently, articulate about a lot of issues. There's a time and a place, though, to speak like a common person. And I'm not saying dumb yourself down because I don't think those people are dumb at all. I'm just saying don't sit there and sound like a total, you know, uppity, well-to-do, know-it-all who doesn't give a crap about other people. So anyways, I mean, all that just kind of defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do in the first place. So, as far as Trump doing anything dangerous, he's not going to do anything. People are going to tell him to get a grip, and he's going to. Like, that's just what it is, you know. He doesn't have any say in anything. I completely trust that if he was to try some kind of coup or something, the generals would put him in his place. And that's honest to God, I trust him 100% with that. So anyways, this is running a little long. I'm sorry, you guys. I have some more to say about that, so I'll make a video here soon in the next few days.